evam kangsha chanuramardanam devaki paramanandam krishnam vande jagadgurum. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. We salute Bhagavan Sri Krishna, the son of Vasudeva, the destroyer of the demons, Kamsa and Chanura, the most dear and darling of the mother Devaki, the leader of the universe, the guru of the whole universe. I salute Sri Krishna Bhagavan again and again. Oh, peace, peace, peace. So we are at the end part of our chapter regarding the instruction of the Bhagavan Kapila, who is the incarnation of God, like Rama, like Krishna. Kapila is one of them. And he is talking about how to develop devotion. And the devotion is the goal of life, love for God. And it should be practiced. Life of attachment to God and detachment to all these temporal things. That should be the guidance. So this is the chapter we finished the other day, chapter 32. We ended 32, verse number 34. Sorry, I have told wrongly, 32 chapter. Anyhow, we can correct it later on. Chapter 32, verse number 34, we'll start today. And we read that the mother, that this is the advice to Mother Devaki, Devahuti, and the mother has been asked by the son. Son is actually God himself. So he says, therefore, O mother, cultivate devotion, which is engendered by contemplating the attributes of the Lord, and practice complete resignation to Him. That's the purpose of life. O mother, do that. O venerable mother, I have expounded with a doctrine that leads to the realization of Brahman. By that way, you will end in Brahman. See, it is all bhakti end, or where is the difference between bhakti, God, Brahman? Bhagavat is the only authentic foundation of the whole Vaishnava tradition. No? They depend on this book as the authority of their devotional practice. So it is all mentioned that there is no distinction. People only do not practice. So that is the point. So what to do? Then he says, what is known as Bhagavan is the common object sought by those who follow the discipline of knowledge based on scriptures, and by those who follow the discipline wholeheartedly, unmotivated devotion to me, nirguna bhakti. So this is all the same. The teacher here, Kapila, says that what is known as Bhagavan is a common object sought by those who follow the disciplines of knowledge based on scripture. So they are also discipline of bhakti. The people of knowledge, they are also following the path of bhakti. Meaning, we are reaching the same goal, saguna or nirguna. And he says, the wholehearted and unmotivated devotion. What is unmotivated devotion? People do devotion, pray to God, oh Lord, I love you, give me this. Oh Lord, I want this, fulfill my desire. So this is one type of, this is also devotion. Because they are going to God for asking things, not to any other person. But here, if you see only, I don't want anything but you, O Lord. That is called the nirguna bhakti, the devotion which has no guna or other qualities attached to it. Just as one object with various attributes is seen differently through different senses. Even so, one Bhagavan is viewed and interpreted differently by different philosophies and scriptural writings in the light of their particular tradition. Wow. See, verse number 33, last we read, Jatha indriyoi pichakdarai artho gugunasraya. As to the indriyas, I am perceiving the same word, no? To the eyes I perceive one way, to the nose I perceive another way, to the ear I perceive another way. Similarly, is giving the idea, even so, eko nana naneyate tad Bhagavan. Shastra Vartman. Shastra Vartman is the path taught by different shastras. Shastras means the scriptures. Whatever scripture in the world is there. So Nana Vidha Shastra, all these shastras are leading to that ego, only one reality. As with your eyes you are perceiving the world. With your ear you are perceiving the same world in a different perspective. This is a different channel. Nose is fragrance. So all the senses are perceived of the same world. That's the example given. Jata indriyoi, by the senses, prithak daroid, different types of senses, eyes, ear, etc. Bahuguna asraya. You can understand the world of different characteristics. Eko nana naneyati tad Bhagavan. Shastra Bhartmavi. To that one Bhagavan. Bhagavan is talking about the one, and that is all the Shastras, scriptures are different channels. And you see, Jatamat Tatapat is here. What a beautiful Bhagavat itself is quoting. Anyhow, but we need to fight. That's why people fight. What can be done? Then people want to fight. So even we don't fight in mundane thing, we fight for God. That is my God, your God. Now today we start verse number 34. But this is a harmony. This is Bhagavad talks about the harmony of all religion. This particular verse. Eko na nani atetat Bhagavan Shastra Vartmani. Only one Bhagavan is there who has been taught by different Shastras that only truth. As we perceive the same world to different sense perception, so similarly, one is the result, one Bhagavan is only one to his experience to different scriptures. And scriptures are, what are the scriptures? Scriptures are the revelation of the truth in different ways. Now, 34 verse we start today of chapter 3, 32 chapter, 34 verse. There are three stages of spiritual development, growth. So in Bhakti Path you are following, so there are three states of gradual development, how you move from one level to another. The first stage is that of pious householders, those who live in the household life, but they are very honest and sincere, pious. How they live? They live by the Vedic injunctions. They don't live according to their own whims, but what the scriptures say. That's very important. To lead a life dictated by the scripture, guided by the scripture. That means a path which is honest, sincere, certified by the knowers of truth. Scripture means their experience, and experience means what? They have practiced and they have seen God in one way. So this is the first stage should be to lead a good householder life. Following how to live, following the Vedic injunctions. We are talking about Vedic injunctions. Every religion has their own injunctions. Honestly, following that discipline. It consists of what is the Vedic religion? It consists of in performance of the Vedic rituals and sacrifices. These have become obsolete now. In early days, they used to do every day homo fire. So many varied karma kanda. That's why Veda divided in two segments. First part is karma kanda, and last part is jnana kanda. Karma kanda means you do this ritual honestly, you fast this way, you offer in the fire with this mantra, as we do our home fire. You have seen many times we do the home fire, and there are so many paraphernalia we do before how to put the fire, how to arrange the fire, wood, and then how you put the flower mantras, offer every oblation, and then put the fire on. And that's also process. This is the way you have to do. After doing that means you're following what? Not in your whims. It's according to the discipline given by predecessors, the early sages, and they have achieved the result. So that is the first duty. There, as a good householder, perform your duties and God-centered life. Main thing is your center should be God. So in early days, Vedic times, there was no such other worship of gods and goddesses much, but it was more for the fire worship. So it consists of performance of the Vedic rituals and sacrifices. And additional, when you do any sacrifice, any puja as we do, no, as a part of it is you have to work of charity. People used to do householders. That's why in Hindu rituals, there are, when you perform something, feed the poor, give some money to those who need some charity. So charitable activity in the study of the scriptures and reflections and their meaning. Parallelly, there will be some reading of the scriptures. People can understand what the scriptures say. So these are a part of the total ceremony. In our center, we do that. You can just always, if you attend any program, you know what we do. We do the puja according to ritual. That's the special day. Perform all the puja, what the book says. I do mistake, then oh sorry, I did the mistake. But book has written you have to do one step, two step, third step, fourth step like that. Then we do the homo fire, oblation, and this and that. Then what we do? Then we give the prasad to all. That means everyone is fed well. This is the part of life. No? Then what you do? You come to temple, then we discuss about the spiritual ideal and this and that, scriptural study and reading. So it will be holistic affair. So these ideas, study of the scriptures, reflection on their meaning, in the practice of the control of the mind and the senses, in the discharge of one's duties as an offering to God. And at the end you say, we we say normally Rama Krishna Arpana Vastu. I offer it to God. Whatever I have done this karma, all these rituals and things, its net result I am offering it to God. So that is the first. So first is a very important stage by householder's life. It is not to renounce, but to live in your life, lead a honest life, and then reach this type of sacrificial effects. And then do a charitable person, God-centered life started. Then second state is that of those who follow a way of life that combines pravitti and nivritti, meaning pravitti means secular life, as we all do, to go some job, earn some money, this secular part. And nivritti also, make a time for your meditation, prayer, and this and that. So next stage, it is first, it is done only rituals we are doing with devotion, God centered life, but their purpose is there. I am a good guy, I'll go to heaven after death. That is the expectation. Second stage is the same, little towards more towards your personal contemplation on God. So the second state is that of those who follow the way of life that combines the path, combination of the path. Little pravritti, secular work characterized by our day-to-day life, and nivritti, exclusive spiritual pursuits. They attend more for meditation, for prayer, or finding exclusive time for their own personal life. They follow the specific ninefold disciplines of bhakti, supported by the disciplines of work and concentration. They do work and they do meditation. That is the, and gradually by that way, there we have read 9 steps of devotion, uh, ninefold discipline of bhakti. And that devotion is discipline by work and concentration. That means your devotion, your concentration in the work, and also mm, work concentration means meditation and bhakti. See, this is rising you from one level to other. You are not spending the whole time in collecting the ritualistic fire ceremony, all this paraphernalia. You are doing little karma, selfless karma, and practicing devotion to God and also trying to meditate on Him. So this is the second stage. The third is that of advanced spiritual aspirants who have intense dispassion for the self capitalist, self, but here they have given small. That is the problem of modern type, right? When who do reuse the type fonts, they make it everything small, but to make it universal. No? But in scriptural text, that does not work. If you say small s, that means you are body bound. If you say big S, then you are God bound or the consciousness bound. So here, the intense dispassion, uh, who have the intense dispassion for God or dispassion for self-centered life, the small life, petty life. So they are disgusted with that. That means that is a third stage. The third stage means advanced stage, when by doing selfless work, focusing on meditation and devotional practice, mind has become purified. And that's it. They will have the intense dispassion, intense rejection, thinking that this life is meaningless. If what is, why shall I engage myself in all these mundane things day and night? No, they get a dispassion. Vairagya, 36th verse. Atma tattva avabodhena. Atma tattva avabodhena. Knowing the tattva, the truth of what, who am I? If you say, go to the original, see, this is the translation. It always, it goes, if you're not true to the foundation, sometimes literal things also make a difference in meaning. Again, the Sanskrit says, Atma Tattva Avabodhena, simple word. Atma Tattva means what? Know about the truth of myself, no? Avabodhena means experiencing. Atma Tattva Avabodhena, Vairagyena Dhrihana. By renunciation, by firm renunciation, because I have gone through these other types of practice and I have seen it can take you up to the heaven. But I don't interested in heaven because that is not a permanent thing. So that's why it says Atma Tattva Avabodhena Vairagyena Dhrihena. Tremendous vairagya, tremendous renunciation. With these factors, Yate Bhagavanevi Shaguno Nirguno Sakrit. So what they do, dear listeners, it is the Bhagavan, the supreme principle of self-awareness, which is both Saguna and Nirguna, that all these aspirants worship and ultimately reach. So they either go to the worship Saguna or the nirguna bhakti. Two types of bhakti. One bhakti, I am praying to you, oh Lord, give me this, give me that. That's also bhakti. Gita appreciates that. Gita says that those are bhakta, my bhakta. Why? Artha, Jiggasu, Artharti, and Gyani. Four categories of people are my bhakta. Artha, who have fallen in difficult situation. Artha, Artharti, who needs money. Artha, Jiggasu. Artha and Artharti, Jiggasu. Jiggasu means which question. Actually, I got this, but what next? What is next? That question has come. And lastly, those who have real Gyani, who is the knower. He is also Bhakta. Bhagavan is not saying the Vedanta big Gyanis are all abhaktas. They are my bhaktas. Bhagavan says Gita, and here also. Atma tattva avabodhena, by understanding the real nature of one's own self, by vairagyena and repeated practice of vairagya, renunciation, iyate Bhagavan evi. It is they reach the Bhagavan, same Bhagavan, either Saguna, Nirguna, Sattvic. According to their sadhana, some reach Saguna, that means I pray to God and God grants that and we go to heaven. That's a Saguna. Bhakti mixed with some quality. And this is Nirguna Bhakti. I don't want anything. Love for love's sake. Nothing in between. So that also they reach because of that state. So these are the three stages of spiritual journey. This is three stages of spiritual journey. Now, and this third is for the advanced spiritual people. Third stage, knowing what is the God's nature, my nature, and loving God with no intention, material gain. That is the third higher level. Advanced student. Now, saying so, now the teacher, Kapila, is saying to mother, oh mother, I have spoken to you of the four expressions of devotion, bhakti. I have already told you four categories of bhakti. What are these? Devotion with desire for enjoyment, that is called sakama bhakti. Devotion consisting in the surrender of the fruits of all actions to the Lord, nishkama bhakti. First, desiring some end, I am worshipping God. That is sakama bhakti, one stage of bhakti. Another stage up. What is that? I have done whatever, I offer it at your feet. Surrender your foot at your feet, O Lord. And that is the Nishkama Bhakti. Practice of the specific ninefold devotion of discipline, that Bhakti Yoga or Saguna Bhakti. And next will be practice of spontaneous loving devotion, Nirguna Bhakti. So these are the four Bhakta stages. One, devotion with desire for enjoyment, that is called Sakama Bhakti. Second, devotion consisting in surrendering the fruits of action to the Lord, that's called the Niskama Bhakti. Then practice with that Niskama Bhakti practice, also practice ninefold devotional discipline. That is the third one, and practice of spontaneous. And after that practice, your love becomes spontaneous. You cannot love any other thing. Your love goes for God, like all the mystic saints, like Mirabai, like other Ramprasad, Kamalakanto. We find them. The love flows for spontaneously towards God. So that is called the and practice of spontaneous love, loving devotion, Nirguna Bhakti. So I have also instructed you what is the nature of time. We have discussed, read that chapter. what is big time, T, capital, whose progress is imperceptible to the senses, but which pervades all things as the determination of the enduring the lifespan. Further, I have described to you how the jiva, individual soul, having come under the influence of this avidya, ignorance, and of karma. I have talked about karma, I have talked how you come into the body, how you enter into ignorance, and becomes completely forgetful of his true nature and transmigrates along the different paths to hell, heaven, and earthly life. So, Mother, I have told you, described you at length. I have talked about what is in time, everything happening, big time, and I have talked about the how a jiva come under the influence of ignorance. We are all free souls, but how we come into the temptation and ignorance. Every religion says temptation, ignorance, maya, whatever the term we use. And having come under the influence of avidya, and then we get involved into the action and all these things, entanglement. And because of complete forgetfulness, when you enter into it, you forget our true nature. And then we transmigrate again along the different paths. We go experience different things in life, but material world to heavenly world to hellish world, whatever experience we go through it. I have talked to all this to you. This is summation of what we have read so many days. These teachings are not to be imparted. Now, this is here even in Bhakti Sutra. Bhaktis, there are competent students for this. And say that's why I don't say all these teachings to anyone and everyone. Vedanta says don't talk Vedanta to everyone and each one and everyone. They will misinterpret it and do all types of nonsense things and think I am Atman. I am Atman, so I have no responsibility. All this Maya, my body is doing. What is that? I am pure. I am already pure. Are you saying so will not happen? Really, one should be pure enough to feel I am not the body. Having full body consciousness, if I only say I am Atman, my life will be a miserable life because my mind is attached to the body. Its pain, its suffering, its anxieties, its worries, its cravings, its desires, that will be a double life. So similarly here also, bhakti, not so easy. That's why he says, don't tell this secret. Oh ma, oh mother, I have told you all the secrets of bhakti. Don't tell it to incompetent people. So these teachings are not to be imparted to a person who are the incompetent people, those who are wicked, or haughty, barbarous, foul in conduct, hypocritical, given to sense indulgence, interested exclusively in their worldly concern, who are without devotion to me, or who persecute my devotees.
But why should they want to listen this kind of thing? They won't ask for this kind of thing to listen also.
Huh?
This type of people will not feel interested also to listen. So there is no question of telling this thing.
There are, we feel our obligation. I have to carry the message. I'm a missionary. We people, missionary people go to preach. You are in ignorance. It's my duty to teach you. All religious people, missionary people go. Missionary people, we say missionary attitude. So people go, I don't want to be, listen to this. But no, it is good for you. And you will get to heaven and you will do this and you will. So that you tell them. And another point is also there. If I find that I got cured from my sufferings and imperfection, so I can try to, hey, I got it, so you can follow. That is a real, genuine mission, missionary work. But other missionaries, they are paid people for missionary work. Promotional, no? There are so many promotional things. So they are talking about that promotional thing. They will not be interested in it, even if you want to make it by enticing money and other things. It happens when you conversion happens in poor countries. They give them some money, give them some comforts of the physical world, and the people become converted into their own faith to other faith. So that is not, that's why Swamiji said, that is no conversion. Conversion should be your worldliness to divine. That is the real conversion of the heart. But so don't talk to these people, don't teach. As you said, they will not be also interested. And don't teach them. And even they don't to talk to the hypocrites. That's the point. Because they will be not be able to grab these things. That's why in spiritual life they are not, many people get the instruction and don't change their character. If not, then so what is the use of this noble talks, spending hours in this scriptural discussion, if it does not transform the life, if it does not change our life? Not that in one day one will be able to realize God, but it should change gradually, gradually, gradually. So don't talk. That's the said. Don't talk to this type of people so that your learning is not misinterpreted. If the mind is not pure, no. If you give one, if you teach, you say one thing, people understand another way.
Also, when if you do understand something and you have a good experience, then when you talk to people, if they're not ready for it, you dissipate your own energy. Your energy is wasted.
And you get drained out. Your energy gets drained out, and you say, "Oh, I spent so much time, but useless." And also, they suck your energy. Importantly, that is the important point. If you practice spiritual discipline, you will find there are some people who will you be there and talk to them. You will feel that you are losing something. That's why you go to the holy people. Holy people can give us something because they have enough stock, and we have a little stock. If you give away, then you become beggar. But if you become really, really very established and wealthy, then you can give charity as much as you can. You have sufficient money. But it may be imparted. See, two ways they are saying. Don't give this message, teachings, who are in persons who are wicked, haughty, barbarous, foul in conduct, hypocritical, given to serious sense indulgences, interested exclusively on their worldly concerns, who are without any devotion to God, or who persecute my devotees. Huh? Actually, they persecute me. If they persecute my devotees, actually they persecute me. But it may be imparted to a person who are endowed with faith. They have little faith. Talk to them. They will be excited. They will say, "Wow, I didn't know that. Why did I not know this thing before, long before? I would have practiced earlier, no?" So, to a person who have with the faith, who has devotion, who has humility, learning of spiritual thing needs humble nature. You cannot you want to pour water from one jar to another jar. The jar in which you want to pour it should be below, and the jar above should go, flow it. Who is receiver, he cannot stand over here. It can do by modern science of pumping, that's a different thing. But if I keep my ego over here, and the person who is a giver, is my guru, my teacher, my holy man, with haughtiness, "Hey, I am such and give me God realization." It does not happen like that. So it should be humble, humility. Goodwill, goodwill to all. That person who does not find enemy anywhere. So he prays for everyone's well-being. So that type of people, renunciation of sense objects, they are not so much attached to the sense objects. They live, eat, sleep, do everything, but they're not clinging to those things. And the spirit of service, who has the spirit of serving God in the temple, serving God in the human being. This service idea is given everywhere. To those who are by nature peaceful, uncarping, free from jealousy, who are pure, and who love me above all things. So these are the characteristics. Go and talk to them, then you feel your joy. That's why Ramakrishna was seeking for people. No, he has so much to give. To whom he will give? He says that is wastage. Yeah, don't throw your pearls among the swines. So Christ said that because you know your energy is gone, useless, if they are not ready. Your seeds, very powerful seeds you are carrying with you. You should not throw on the stones. If you throw the stone, your seeds are wasted. But this you throw in a fertile land and see the crop comes up. So that is the point. This highly spiritual, then if you talk to the people, no, they will go on arguing, and they will be, it takes away the draining, and they don't accept anything because they are not yet ready. Not We are not to criticize them, but point is that they are not ready for this. Everyone has readiness. Now food is not yet ready. You say it's still boiling. When the boiling will be over, then you can take out and then it's eatable. So the mind, intellect, ego should be boiled enough to be soft, and soft is called siddha. Then if they put that field devotion there, they will flourish fast. O Mother, whoever hears or teaches this with faith, with a faith and a mind, and with a mind concentrated of me, attains to my state. So this is the conclusive word, that don't give this to people who are not ready. Give them to the people who are devoted, who have less ego, who are having no attachment, much attachment to the worldliness. Huh? And Bhagavat in another place it has said that those people who are not extremely powerful to renounce everything. Bhakti Yoga path is for those who are not extremely renunciate, they don't like anything but absolute truth, one, or those who are not too much entangled into worldliness. This bhakti is the path for them. Not this side too down, that side too up. And the middle path is the bhakti path. Therefore, this is the concluding verse that, O my mother, whoever hears or teaches this faith with faith, I am telling you that with a mind concentrated on me, attains to my state, my divine state. So here ends the chapter 32. Now verse number 33, the 33rd chapter starts, where Maitreya the Rishi, Maitreya is saying, Devahuti, it is called the Kapilapura's conclusion. Here ends this entire reading of the story about Kapila, the son, who is a God's incarnation, talking to his mother Devahuti. Conclusive verse. Chapter 33 on page 295. Devahuti's hymn to Kapila. 8 verses. Maitreya said, hearing the words of her son Kapila, Devahuti, who is the wife of the sage Kardama, had the covering of ignorance or pulled away from her mind. She then circumambulated Kapila, made prostration before him, and sang his praise as follows. So, as a student, here the mother-son relationship is gone. Here, son is God himself, and he gave such instruction of extreme devotion, how to develop it. And hearing this from a person of like God-like person, all the veil of the mind of mother's mind disappeared. And then out of tremendous reverence and gratitude, mother went around the son as if we do circumambulate the temple. Circumambulated the mother's mother, circumambulated Kapila, and then Baba prostrated before him and sang his praise. Mane, you are my teacher, you are my guru. No? Then what he said, even Brahma, born of naval lotus, could only meditate in his mind on that unique form of your stressed on the cosmic water. He's talking about you, Kapila, you are Narayana, who lies on the navel of the lotus. You are Brahma, the creator. You live in the lotus of the navel of the Narayana, who is lying in the ocean of serpent, no? Cosmic water, the form which is the seed of the world manifestation and the source of nature's powers, and which the whole nature is involved in latency. It is indeed a wonder that such a being could be born in my womb. I am the mother, I am blessed, that you, the creator of Brahma, Narayana, God, you have been graciously taken shelter in my body. No? It's I am blessed that I became a mother holding you in my womb. With your power diversified in the process of nature's evolution, you, the unperturbed, the truth-willed, the Lord of all jivas, the insurmountable one, with powers and attributes that appear contradictory, do manifest this whole universe. So you have manifested yourself in this form of this whole universe, multitudinous objects of the universe, and you have yourself manifested. O mystery of mysteries, that is, O God, that such a being who holds the entire universe in his abdomen should be born by me in my womb. I'm surprised. That is you, the Lord. It is a mystery of one mystery. I cannot think that you are the Lord of the universe. You have created this universe out of your wish. The sun, moon, stars, galaxies, all these have come. And you, that power, have kindly come into my womb and taken shelter in my small womb. So, and out of gratitude, is expressing his her mother's own ideas. So Sattam Brito me Jathanena Natho Katham Tujasya Udaro Etadasit. How it is possible that such a being who holds the entire universe in his abdomen should be born by me in my womb. But these contradictions are not contradictions in you. For us, it is a contradiction. God of the universe, Lord of the universe can come in the womb of Mother Khudira, Chanda Devi. How the divine Lord of the universe will be born? How Lord of the universe will come in the form of Jesus Christ in the womb of Mother Mary? Is it possible? Contradictory, that infinite absolute. How can it be concentrated into that little stomach of the Mother Mary, Mother Jasoda, all these things? That's very surprising thing. Aghatana ghatana potiyasi.
Devki.
Devaki,
Devaki.
not Joshua.
Okay, Jasoda. No, don't
Devki.
Devaki, but also Krishna. Jasoda, you can say, and the Radha. Anyhow, Devaki. So, how in Devaki's life, in Chandra Devi's life, so how it is possible that the Lord of the universe, so big, so vast is the creation, he has taken a small form of a baby and entered into the womb of me by this mother. So it is mother's surprise. But the mother says, oh mystery of mystery, that such a being who holds the entire universe in his abdomen should be born by me, born by me in my womb. But these contradictions are not contradiction in you. For you it is nothing. You can do whatever you like. You are the Lord of the universe. For did you not appear as an infant, sucking your toes, lying on a banyan leaf, and that come floating on the cosmic water of the universal deluge? Even then, the children are sucking their toes. Is it not that you, the Lord of the universe, are doing like that? Oh, all pervading being, assumption of a body by you is for the suppression of the evil and the advancement of holy living, because you are born only to destroy the evil, suppression of the evil, and the advancement of the holy living. Holy people will be peaceful and joyfully practice spiritual discipline, and evil people will be, their power will be suppressed. This also is an incarnation of you, like a cosmic boar. The purpose of this incarnation, I like cosmic boar. There is a story, no? God appeared in the form of a cosmic boar. Boar. So, like that, you are also born in this body of Krishna. There, no, not here Krishna. Here is no Devahuti and Kopila. You are born Kopila now in this incarnation. It has a meaning. The purpose of this incarnation, that means Kopila, being the revelation of the path leading to the realization of the Atman. You are trying to help us to go into reach the path of Atman. The verse number 5, this is the one. By hearing your name, by singing your glory, by prostrating before you, nay, even by thinking of you at once, the greatest of the sinners is transformed into righteous man, worthy of performing sacrificial rites. What then can your blessed vision not achieve? You are born the same God who has been incarnated before. This incarnation, you are standing before me, and another incarnation of God. Huh? By beholding you, by seeing you, all the sins will go away. So that is your purpose of why the avatar, why avatar comes. Avatar comes. Why Gita says, Adharmasya, all the unrighteousness, to destroy the unrighteousness, to establish what is righteousness. Dharma sangas pratisthana, sambhamami. I will be born again and again for the good of humanity.
Is this the same Kopil Muni we have in that Ganga Sangha?
No, that is a Sankhya philosophy. Oh, how wonderful, how low-born a man might be. Eh? Oh, how wonderful, how low-born a man may be. If he has your name on his lips, he is indeed elevated by that. That means even some person is born in a different situation, if they take your holy name in your lips, they get liberated. They will be liberated. For those who take your name with faith must have already practiced austerities. That means it is the glory. So those who are taking God's name, don't think that you are ordinary people, because you have your good karma of the past. You have taken the name of Lord in the previous life. That's why you are interested in it. So it says, for those who take your name in this life with faith, it was generated little faith. So that type of people have already practiced austerities in the previous lives, performed fire sacrifices, bathed in the holy waters, and studied the Vedas. They indeed are the worthy of men, because they have good karma. Otherwise, people will not like to take the name of the Lord. God's name does not give any joy to them. It is a repulsive thing, God's name.
There are some questions.
Salutations to Brahman, the Supreme Person, Mahavishnu, incarnated as Kapila, who is fit to be meditated upon by all contemplative souls, who outshines all the splendors of nature's forces. God Kapila, you are the Lord, your splendor is so beautiful, you excel all types of shining things in the world and the splendors of the nature's forces, and who is the source and the wisdom of the Vedas. So that is the way the mother praised the son, who is who is God incarnated as Kapila. So that ends there. Now, after life of Devahuti and Kapila, what happened to Kapila after this? Giving the last message to mother and blessing, what happened? So that we can read next day, verse number 9 to onward. And that will end this chapter. Or shall I read a few? How many questions? I don't know.
4.
Okay, let me finish this. I'll finish quick. It will take 5 minutes. Afterlife of Devahuti and Kapila, verse number 9. Maitreya, the sage Maitreya said, being thus praised by Kapila, the divine incarnation and the loving son of his mother, said to Devahuti in a grave and imposing tone. Now, the mother prays this way, you are God, I am blessed. How could you come in my home? How blessed I am that to hold you in my body. No, I cannot imagine. You are so, it is contradictory, it appears. But for you, it is nothing. You are the Lord of the world, etc. Now, the Kapila is saying, oh mother, I have given you a kind of spiritual discipline that is easy for you to practice. By practicing it, you can easily become liberated in life. Bestow serious attention on this doctrine expounded by me. It has been the support of all the seekers of Brahman. By following it, one will attain to my state from which there is no return to samsara. That means what I have told, the spiritual practice of devotional practice, you follow that, and if you really follow that, there will be no return for you to come back into the samsara, be born again. Those who do not follow it return to the world of birth and death again and again. Once you do it, you will be freed. If you don't do, you will be born again and again. Maitreya said them, having thus imparted the truth about himself to his mother, Kapila now departed from that place with the permission of his illumined mother. Now he's taking, mother, now let me go. I have finished my duty and giving you whatever I knew to the path of liberation. Seated in her ashram, which was like a floral wreath on the river Saraswati, Devahuti concentrated her mind on the Supreme Being as instructed by her son. How mother lived? Mother is practicing this discipline. How she lived? By bathing in the 3 sandhas. 3 sandhas means morning, noontime, evening of the day. Her hair became coppery, no oil, nothing. So sort of matted, dressed in the tree bark, a sign of austerity, no clothing, nothing costly. Her body became very slender, owing to the rigors of his austere practices. Devahuti had sometimes back abandoned her household, conjured up by the power of the tapas and yoga of the Prajapati, a household that was unparalleled in grandeur and an attraction even for the gods. It had clean milk white beds. That means she lived in that type of gorgeous life. no? It had clean milk white beds, furnitures of gold, ivory, golden stools, soft pillows. It had walls of pure crystal and emerald panels on which shone lamps made of diamonds held by the female figurines. It had courtyard with flowering plants and heavenly trees, wherein the delightful cooing of the birds in pairs and the humming of the inebriated honeybees could be heard. In that garden, there were lakes where waters were fragrant with the sweet smell of the lotus, and in which she had frequently bathed in her superbly handsome body, the object of Kardama Prajapati's endearment, and of the panegyrics of heavenly singers. She had abandoned all these blessings of a glamorous household. That means she's saying that such a glorious, gorgeous life she was living, she abandoned all these things. All blessings of the glamorous, the envy, which is the envy of even celestial women, and subjected herself to strenuous austerities. And now that her son had left, her face was overcast by a shadow of sorrow. The separation, the separation from her son, following on the heels of the departure of the husband who adopted the ascetic life, plunged Devavati, the mother, into grief. In spite of her knowledge of spiritual verities, just as a cow is afflicted when its offspring is removed from her, thanks to her grief, she thought constantly of her son Kapila. When the son left and her husband already gone, she was living such luxurious life. Now she's following the path of spiritual discipline. Her mind was sad because going, her son has left now. God has left her. But thanks to that grief, sometimes grief is not grief. You are grieving for whom? Grieving for your son. Your son is who? Is the Lord of the world. Thinking of that, her mind becomes spiritually purified. Thanks to her grief, she thought constantly of her son Kapila, who was none but Lord Hori, and her mind was constantly freed from every kind of worldly attachment, including that to her splendid home. As instructed by her son, she meditated on the form of the Lord, on each of his parts individually, and all parts together, and that one whose face is calm and perceivable through intense meditation. This is 23rd verse, which says, see, now his mother is meditating on the incarnation, his son. As instructed by her son, she meditated on the form of the Lord, Narayana, on each of his parts, every finger, nail, feet, face, every feature. When you think of God, this is on good advice how to meditate on the form of God. You pay attention to every part of his body. So, and as instructed by her son, she meditated on the form of the Lord. On each of his parts, his means part of Ramakrishna, part of Narayana, and on all parts together. And that one whose face is calm and perceivable through intense meditation. By an unbroken flow of love towards him, by the practice of intense dispassion, by the observance of strict disciplines in eating and other matters of daily life, by acquiring knowledge on spiritual matters, by the experience of the all inclusive being with its veil of Maya, which is removed by constant contemplation of Him with a pure mind, by elimination of individuality that is attained through the fixing of the mind on Bhagavan, who is none else but Brahman and who is the support of the jiva. By means of such discipline, she attained to the supreme peace, having removed all the obstacles to the dawn of this knowledge. So every day meditating on the Lord, as we try every day, our meditation, every part of the body of your Ishta Devata, and then think of the whole body, think of the face of him, constant attempt doing like that, mind becomes pure and pure, and Devahuti, the mother, mind became pure, and he had the total freedom, experience, and knowledge. As she was in the state of samadhi continually and had transcended the sphere of experiences which is bound by the gunas or prakriti, she did not feel any identification even with her body. Just as a man awakened from a dream feels no identification with the dream body. No? He is now freed from body identity. Mother Devahuti, she has, because of this constant meditation and grief for her own son. But son is God, thinking of the son and meditating on individual part of the body and the whole body and the face, and constantly doing that, mind become purified. So, and he disidentified with his body is there, but she never felt that I am the body. Like a dream, you are seeing a dream. When you wake up from the dream, what happens? Your dream body, do you identify with the dream body anymore? So this knowledge has dawned to Mother Devahuti. She is not feeling identification with the body. In spite of this elimination of bodily consciousness, her body survived as it was fed by others. ওই যে প্রারব্ধ, জীবন মুক্তি said. Being without mental worries, she did not look famished, although covered with filth for want of bath and proper dressing. She looked like a fire covered with smoke, as it were, her mind having penetrated into the Vasudeva and her body having been transformed by the power of yoga and tapas. She survived merely by the power of prarabdha. With her hair disabled, clothes thrown to the winds, she hardly knew that she had a body. Thus, following the path shown by Kopila, she attained to the self capital, who is called Paramatman, Brahma Nirvana, and Bhagavan. So he's attained to the state which is called Supreme God, Brahman, or where Devahuti realized the supreme attainment. That place became a holy spot, famous in all the three worlds as Siddha Pita. I like Dakshineshwar. Ramakrishna did sadhana, and that place became a pilgrimage, place of pilgrimage, Siddha Pita. And you also go, and if you can do sadhana, you will have a quick realization. O Vidura, her body purified by yoga, was converted into a best of holy rivers, which aids the dawn of enlightenment and which came to be resorted to by many enlightened ones. Kopila, the divine incarnate as a great yogi, having somehow consoled his mother, left his father's ashrama at Bindusara and traveled towards the northeast. Praised and hymned by Siddhas, Charanas, Munis, Apsaras, and welcomed by masters of philosophy, he established his residence at the place respectfully offered by the Lord of the Seas, where he is still said to remain in spiritual absorption for the welfare of the world. O pure minded one, with this I have finished narrating to you the sacred conversation between Kopilo and Devahuti, about which you question me. Whoever hears or teaches with faith and devotion this most profound exposition of the sages, sage Kopila's views on the doctrine of Atman, will acquire unshakable devotion to the feet of Lord Vishnu and ultimately attain to his feet. That means who will have tremendous devotion to these teachings, that person will be freed, like the mother Devahuti also were freed. So here ends the chapter 33rd chapter is finished. 3.33.37. Here it ends. Now next day we'll read a fourth skanda, fourth part of the book. Okay? Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Sri Ram Krishna Arpanamastu. Question karo samay habe. Acha, there is a question, how can we reduce attachment to the body? When we go from waking to a dream state, we get detached to the waking body unconsciously. But how can we achieve such a state whenever we want? That needs, when we can attain to that state where you are thinking you are body, but you are not the body. No? When it will come? Very long practice. It happens. When you put the mind, we have put the mind in our body now. That's why anything happening in the body, we are affected. If you withdraw the mind from the body, then doctors go and operate all these things. No one feels any pain. Even that's the ordinary experience. Similarly, in meditation, if one can love for God is so intense that mind is sucked into that love. Naturally, body will remain body. Whatever happening to the body will not affect the person at all. Because of the mind being here, so we have to practice. There is no other way. All the Bhakti Sutras have told us we have to do that practice again and again and again. Or Gyanapath, Bhaktipath, or Yogapath, or Karmapath, whatever we take, or take all the paths together. Just I disidentify with the body and think of God. Main thing, as much as we will think of God, our mind will get absorbed into that, then so much will be off from the body identity. The identity of the world, its attachment, its love, its affection, all this will be not much binding to the person. Another question, if a devotee is practicing devotional service but spontaneously love is not coming, how can they troubleshoot to know what is blocking them? Simple thing. If my mind is not going to God, it is going to somewhere. Find out where it is going. Suppose you are meditating and my mind goes to suddenly to some other thought. That means that thought is important to you rather than thinking of God. Find out why it is going there. Hey, catch the mind. Why are you here? Get out. Then mind will stop doing things. But we don't catch the mind there. Mind goes here and we also go there.
Suppose it is not going anywhere, you just sleep.
Sleep means tamas. You are not going anywhere means that is the worst thing. Don't meditate. Get up. Because tamas has no place. You have to be rajas first. Rajas to sattva. So, yeah, body tired, that will go, but that does not give any benefit of it. It's just that better to sleep in the bed. You will have a full rest. Rather, it is also bending and this and that going on at the same time sleeping. That's why very very natural thing is that take care of the body, give rest to the body, eat balanced food, take good rest. Oi Gita idea, balance.
If you're meditating and you get sleepy, you can
The-
do like pranayama to wake yourself up.
Yeah, you can take any methodology. You can do little deep breathing. Do it 10 times, you see that you will be awake because more oxygen will be in flow and it will purify the cells and then awakening will come. Or some people go splash the face, go little walk. I have seen one Swami, he used to feel asleep, he was in his old age. So he used to, in the Belur Math, he used to walk from one end to the other end. And a paved road is there from Holy Mother's temple, Savaji's temple, that stretch. And then you have to do the japa, going in, so that to overcome tamas, sleep. So we'll have to, our mind goes there, it is not the fault of mind. Mind finds joy there. Our mind thinks it is more important. We, we have 10 items to do. You prioritize the thing, this is more important. So mind also prioritizes in its own. More than meditation, I am finding joy there. Or that anxiety is there. What is going on? What is going on? So your mind is in anxiety, that takes away the mind there. Or mind feels more importantly, they find it immediate joy of being in that thought. It runs there. But when you turn its direction, then it will be the benefit. That is the sadhana practice. Is spontaneous love same as Russia? And is there a higher goal past spontaneous love? I do not know. Spontaneous love means you are not to make any effort and you are falling in love with God. That means your inflow of thought is in God and God. Huh? That is also a practice. And when you reach that state, probably you will then don't want anything more. You will just sit down and be absorbed in it. That will lead you to the next stage, samadhi. So our effort should be to do this practice more so that our love for God generates over other objects attention. Another question, if we want tamasic, we have tamasic and rajasic aspect in our bhakti, will they need to be transformed to Sattvika Bhakti first before we can have a Supreme Bhakti? Of course, Supreme Bhakti, to get to the Supreme Bhakti, we have to have a tamasic level of love, rajasic level of love, Sattvika level of love. So we have to transcend them, tamas to rajas to sattva, and then sattva to super sattva. The same thing. Many people deviate from an ideal conduct to make quick gains. Where to get the power to not to fall into temptation of following dishonest means to satisfy our worldly needs? Yes, it is a big question. We live in the world and there is a competition. And when you are really see that somebody is getting more salary, more name, more position, naturally I will think, "Arey, I am working hard. Am I a fool?" And they are taking the advantage of that. Naturally the tendencies will come, and that is natural, and we don't say that this thought to come is bad, but as you want to be spiritual, we'll have to think, okay, I may get more money, I know that is needed for me, I'll try that, but that's not my goal. My goal is love for God. I want to be peaceful inside. That person is not peaceful. When you take ethical or non-ethical means to earn money, to grab things and this, and then you try. You are always tensed. You are always full of anxiety. What to lose, what to lose, what to lose. And even if you get it, you got the money, the unethical means, but you are not happy with it. Your inner conscience will prick. But as devotee, when conscience is free, I may be poor guy, but I live honestly. You have your inner satisfaction all the time. No one, you can cheat others, but you cannot cheat yourself. So the inner conscience will not haunt you. Anytime you know, I lived a honest life. And that way I am free. So no inner conflict and no inner struggle and not. I think therefore, that we there is a tendency to fall into temptation. But a devotee will be thinking of God and praying to it, and then how, okay, let them have money. Let them may have huge raise. I have not. Okay, that's okay. I tried my best, it didn't work. Okay, what can I do? So that type of devotee will suffer. That's why devotees, holy people always suffer. Don't you see? Anywhere you go, those who are genuine spiritual people, they suffer. Those who can make a face, show, do something to their that their activity level is high. No, normally the what you call when they are cunning people, they can do all types of cheating things, and they can get away with that. But that is only for a few days. Your inner conscience, the situation changes. Money you earn does not cannot stay. It goes in suddenly one fall in crash, investment crash, then it's gone. So there's so uncertainty. So devotee want to keep peace and humbly live with God rather than with pleasure and no no love for God. Okay? So we have to pray and we have to practice. Jai Ma. Thank you. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. We'll see you at 7:30. Not much long. 7:30 for our Shanti Gita class.
You answer all 6 questions.
Huh?
All 6 questions.
Huh.
Answer.
Okay.